Okay, here we go. Well, we got November's report, and it was pretty good. We were able to pay just about half of the principal and interest of the loan, and of course that means pretty much every month except for May, which we've just let the expenses get out of control. We actually made money on the B&B. The income covered all of the expenses to run the B&B, but only 2 months actually paid for the mortgage. But to have this business run as a business, we need to be able to cover the mortgage, and I don't know how to do that. I'm looking for ideas. I've reached out to Kiwi and said, hey, how can we increase the days? But last month was 19 days booked, and we didn't do as good as October. And October was about the same number of days. I think we just had more money per day. So I don't know. We need either more bookings or we need to be able to charge more, but we can't really charge more if everybody else in the area is charging the same. So I don't know where we go from there. Nevertheless, it does take care of the original goal of having this as an investment, hoping that it would go up 5 to 10% a year, which it actually hasn't. Eventually it will start doing that, but it's actually gone down in value the last year and a half. But anyhow, had the mortgage supplemented, and it has supplemented the mortgage by 25 to 50%, and like I said, 2 months 100%, just barely. But we really can't expand the business if we're not actually making money at this one. But anyhow, I go down the road, I listen to YouTube, and I listen to some podcasts, and I try to get some ideas and try to get some thoughts. And coming up with the idea of a greenhouse, trying to figure out what would be a good thing to grow in it, was one idea. And then, of course, Edward's father doing the restocking of willows in the Klamath Falls area to recover from that devastating fire may actually put us over the top. If we can get enough cuttings in and rooted and sell them back to his father to sell to the state, we should be able to make enough money to be worth it for the efforts of everybody, but also be able to actually pay the mortgage. So anyhow, there's that. And then I've been thinking about the actual how to do it, and I don't really know, because Edward needs to find out from his father how he does it so that we can duplicate that. Maybe improve upon it, I don't know. But the idea is to be able to have a profitable business so that we can parlay that into another investment. Simple and easiest one would be to pick up a $350,000 home in the town, Kelso, Longview, Kalama, the local area that needs a little work. It needs a lot of spiffing up, and go in there and fix whatever needs to be fixed, replace the carpets, paint the walls, patch up the roof, hopefully not replace it, I guess it's awful expensive, but be able to fix it up and then rent it out. And if we can make $500 a month in profit after all expenses, after figuring about a 10-15% vacancy possibility rate, then we can actually take that and do something else with it. So what we would do is create a LLC so that the limited liability, so if we ever do get sued, they can only take what's in the LLC. But anyhow, put the B&B in it, and then the next rental unit and maybe we'll come across another B&B. The problem comes in right now is that the interest rates are just sky high. It hasn't been this high since 80s, I think. It's 6.5%, 7.5%, and that's if you have excellent credit, super good down payment, and the bank likes you, and you can actually show an income. Well, because I have $1,000 a year, I can't really show an income this year, but I can show a decent income the last 2 years before that. So hopefully, 2024, I can show a decent income. But of course, the company, you want to use the company's track record of creating an income. And until the B&B actually makes a profit, shows an actual profit, that's not helping us. But it doesn't mean that everything is, out the window. That still can be done. What you need to do is find somebody who has a house that if he would fix it up, he'd be able to sell it for twice as much as he put into it, but he just doesn't have the energy or the knowledge or the desire to fix it up, so he'll sell it for the discount. But it's a paid-for house, and he's basically looking for income, because what he's going to do is he's going to take the $350,000, put it into a bank, into a fund of some kind, hopefully get 6-7% off of it, so he can draw on that to be able to supplement his Social Security. So what we can do is offer him 10%, or $35,000 a year, at an interest rate which is 2 or 3%, but we give him a minimum that would be more than he would get by taking the whole amount of money and putting it into some type of investment fund or a high yield savings account. And we can do that. There are people like that, and they have to, of course, like us. They have to be able to sell us a house on the terms that we need, and they're not going to do that with somebody that they just can't stand. I'm not necessarily the best person to talk to people like that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, the thing is, you fix it up, you get it as spiffy as you can, you rent it out, and it pays enough to cover the $35,000 a year, plus a profit of $6,000 to $8,000, and then we got something. And then eventually, we find a plot of land, and it's got 5, maybe more acres. Same thing. Somebody's selling it to us on our terms. They're financing it for us, a land contract. And we go in there and we throw on the greenhouses, and ship in the water to be able to water the plants, and have a gas power generator for the heat in the winter, and whatever is needed for whatever we're doing with the greenhouses. And then we get a season or two making money on that, and then we drill a well, and then we pick out a place to erect a cabin, and so we go ahead and do the septic system. Then the next year we put it on the cabin and bring up the electricity. Now we got the water, we got the septic, and the family can actually live in that while we continue to work the land. And then we throw on another cabin, and then eventually we break ground on a mansion. And we built a beautiful place. It's the kind that you see online where the lights are lit and looks like a McCabe drawing, painting. And then we charge for the rooms. So we have a auxiliary unit in there, so we can have somebody that actually lives in it, that does the cooking for the guests, it does all the repairs, on hand most of the time to be able to take care of any issues that the client may have, the customer may have, and they take care of the greenhouses up to, while he's not taking care of the guests directly. And what that will accomplish would be to fulfill a dream, of having a really gorgeous place, really be able to take care of customers. And then eventually we put in a pool that's enclosed, so it's protected from the weather. And they have a little pool house and a hot tub, a sauna, an area for massages and manicures and pedicures and whatever else happens in the spa, which I've personally never been to, but I've seen the movies. Just to be able to take care of them. But the other part of it, of course, it means that would hopefully mean a net positive, quarter by quarter, year after year, of actually having a positive cash flow. And what that would do for me is allow me to be able to survive, because if I have to quit working and I don't have any other income, I can't survive on the Social Security, even on food stamps and medical stamps, whatever they call that. I suppose if I quit smoking it'd be easier, but I just can't survive on a little Social Security check, so I need more money. But the other thing is that anybody who goes through the journey with me is going to get some equity, sweat equity ownership of this company that I'm talking about. And we get a number of rental units, B&Bs and normal rental houses. I don't know what they have in duplexes and fourplexes, but if they exist, we can look at those. And if, we get 5 or 6 people that own this company at one degree or another, it means money for everybody if we can make it profitable. We just have to figure out how to do that. And raising trees is one way, raising other plants is another way. It's legal to do pot nowadays if you get the right license and all of that. I know my cousin is interested in that. But we just got to figure out what we can do to make money. And as long as we're willing to research it and then figure out how much to invest and figure out where to get the money to invest, I'm brave enough to try it. So let's really make something out of this. But right now, we're just treading water. As long as I'm working, I can afford to pay the mortgage, and hopefully the value of the property will go up to the point that it would have been a good investment. Right now, there's kind of dead money, but it pays for itself. I mean, if I bought this place in cash money, I'd be making a few $100s every month. So it's not a bad thing. It's just financing it. It makes it absolutely unworkable, at the current rate of return. Yeah, but if we use the garage to root some trees and figure out some other things that we can do, we can make a go of this. Anyhow, just let you know, let you in on my dreams and my plans and my hopes, and one of my biggest hopes is that I can actually bring people out of the lower middle class, everybody that's listening to this, to the higher middle class, maybe the low upper class. We can figure out how to get revenue streams. Oh, and the other idea I had, I touched on this before, but I looked at Edward's commercial he's making, or the ad, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. He's got some skills. So if we can get a spokesperson, somebody who looks fairly young, who can speak well, who doesn't have gross stuff on their face that everybody's be looking at and just saying, ugh, and put them in front of the camera with a script, and have some fun with it, but show them the property and show all the amenities. Come springtime, when at the very least we get the hot tub back, and then take the viewers through the whole journey of growing these roots to replenish the plants, the trees that were burnt in that devastating fire. And I've got an idea of how to script it, but record everything. Record from the time that you go down to pick up the stems, to the time that you bring them back and throw them in the corner, to the time that you start cutting them, putting them in the water, coming back a week later, checking them, coming back 2 weeks later, and actually take them out of the water and get them ready to transport back, or whatever the time frame ends up being. But every step of the way, record it, and then have the narrator, whoever it ends up being, talking us through what he's doing, what she's doing, what we're trying to accomplish, you throw that on the YouTube. If people start watching it, they start enjoying it and subscribing and recommending and sharing, and you can actually get yourself a following. So I'm thinking Ezra. I think Ezra would be great. When the little ones get older, maybe about 10, they can actually start their channel. Well, I do a lot of YouTubing, just trying to figure out information. But you see, on every YouTube, you stop. You gotta wait 5 seconds, and you push the button, and wait 5 seconds, and you push the button. And sometimes it goes 15 seconds, and it won't let you have a button to push. They're making money on that. It may be just a few pennies per view, but you get 100,000 views and make 2 cents per view. You start making some money. I mean, that would pay for the kid's college, and if he really enjoys it, he may expand out. There's people that make all kinds of money just sitting there playing a stupid video game. There's people making money commenting on somebody else's video. It's ridiculous how you could actually parlay that into money. And some of these people, once they get a following of hundreds of thousands of people, they start making hundreds of thousands of dollars every year in income. And they endorse products, and they get more money. You can actually make $1 million on YouTube if you look prettier than me, if you got something to say, and if you sound like a entertaining, knowledgeable person. So anyhow, that's another way of making income. You go a long ways that way. All right, comment on this, make suggestions. Even if you say, I am tired of this crap, don't make no more videos. I respect that. All right, this is the voice of God.